Hey there, movie buffs. Today, we're diving deep into the legendary filmography of none other than Sylvester Stallone. This dude is a bona fide Hollywood icon, and his movies have been captivating audiences for decades. Whether you're a die-hard fan or just looking to discover some cinematic gems, this list of the top 10 Sylvester Stallone films is sure to get you hyped. So, without further ado, let's dive in and take a closer look at the top 10 Sylvester Stallone movies that you need to add to your watch list stat. Starting off our list at number 10 is Escape Plan. This was a shared top billing about 25 years in the making. Stallone and Schwarzenegger were too competitive for it to happen in the 1980s or 1990s. But they mellowed with age, and by 2013, deep into their seventh decade, Arnie and Sly finally came together. Stallone is Ray Breslin, an undercover prison break specialist who tests maximum incarceration facilities across the country. Laser-focused and acutely observant, it seems that no balls, chains, bars, or walls can contain this man. But then, for reasons that aren't worth much consideration, Ray is thrown into a road seat prison led by Hobbs, who assures our hero that he will never escape. However, the warden didn't count on Ray befriending Emil Rottmeier, a fellow inmate, security expert, and hard case. It's all a load of action babble, and it's not what you would have hoped from Sly and Schwarzenegger's first top billing. But Escape Plan is still an enjoyable romp with a good helping of macho posturing.
What it's gonna take to get over the wall, get out of here, but first I'm gonna need that diversion in the box.
How much time do you need?
3 to 5 minutes.
Coming in at number 9 is The Expendables 2. The first Expendables film was a decent attempt at putting together a massive action ensemble. Sylvester Stallone corralled a broadside of heroes from the last 40 years and, as you can see in the posters, put himself as the center of gravity. They got an even wider cast, too, with performances from Chuck Norris, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, who had only a cameo in the first film. There is a plot to The Expendables 2, something about plutonium and Cold War bases, or whatever. But this is a film about spectacle, not story, and that means old men with big guns blasting the hell out of some faceless enemy. We're served this in spades throughout the film's digestible 103 minutes, especially during an airport shootout in which Stallone, Schwarzenegger, and Bruce Willis walk into battle together as the film's A-list guard.
Rest in pieces.
Next up at number 8 is Rambo. Rambo wants nothing to do with it, but Christian aid workers persuade him to take them into the country via the Salween River. These missionaries abhor violence and have no agenda beyond wanting to help people. Yet they are caught up in a genocidal campaign led by Major Tent. Naturally, a rescue mission ensues, but it's not all action and no meaning. There is commentary in the contrast between Rambo's violent realpolitik and the missionaries' pious righteousness. Such moralizing is dubious in a film this meat-headed, but if there is one thing that Rambo does effectively, it is the brutal reality of genocidal violence. We see troops bomb, shoot, and stab their way through Burmese villagers, and Stallone makes a point of the children's fate, which involves fire and bayonets.
There isn't one of us that doesn't want to be someplace else. But this is what we do. Who we are. Live for nothing. Or die for something.
At number 7 we have Rocky IV. 3 years after Rocky III, the silliest of the Rocky sequels was released. That movie was Rocky IV, which takes the most dramatic elements from the series and collectively dials them all up to at least 11, possibly higher. It feels like it has the most everything out of all the Rocky movies. With so many training montages, the most bombastic boxing sequences, and drama that's overall extra heightened. Those who prefer the series, when it's more natural and believable, might find this one a bit silly. But anyone looking for peak 80s cheese will have a blast with this very entertaining film. Ivan Drago is arguably the most memorable villain of the entire saga, and Rocky is once again the underdog, training in the wilderness while Drago trains in a high-tech Soviet gym.
Rocky Balboa is in serious trouble. They might have to stop this one before somebody gets killed. Richard, grab him! Richard, grab him! Rocky's hurt. He woke the sleeping giant and now he's paying the price.
Taking the number 6 spot is Creed. If Creed can be counted as a sequel to the Rocky series, then it's surely up there with the best movie sequels of all time. Maybe it's a spin-off, or perhaps the entire Creed series. It's now a trilogy, can be seen as a sequel series to the Rocky series, which had 6 installments released between 1976 and 2006. It follows Adonis Johnson. He starts the movie without using Creed as his surname, as he makes a splash in the boxing world, partly thanks to his training from Rocky Balboa, who was once rivals, and later friends, with Adonis's late father. It's notable for being the only movie that's gotten Stallone an Academy Award nomination for acting, and he's great here, as is Michael B. Jordan in the lead/titular role, with this being one of his best performances to date.
You're gonna take a beat, you're gonna take this, you're gonna get knocked down, you're gonna get up, and you're gonna see if you got the right thing. But you gotta work hard. I swear to God, if you're not gonna do it, I'm out.
Alright, folks, listen up. If you're enjoying the content on this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give the video a good old-fashioned thumbs up. Let's show the creator some love, shall we? Halfway through our list at number 5 is Demolition Man. Of the many R-rated action movies Sylvester Stallone has appeared in, Demolition Man might well be up there as one of the best. Furthermore, it also works as a science fiction/crime movie, having a premise that involves a risk-taking cop and a criminal both cryogenically frozen in 1996 and subsequently awoken in 2032. From there, events conspire to make their 1990s rivalry continue into the 2030s, and it's about as ridiculous and explosive as you'd expect, especially given Demolition is right there in the title. Stallone's the cop, and Wesley Snipes plays the cunning crime lord antagonist, with the film being a silly yet fun mashup of various genres.
I'm a seamstress? Oh, that's just great. I come out of cryo prison and I'm Betsy fucking Ross. If Phoenix comes out and he can access computers, operate all vehicles, knows the location of every damn thing in town, and is 3 times stronger than when he went in?
Coming in at number 4 is Cliffhanger. Cliffhanger is about a mountain climber who becomes potentially the only person who can stop a group of thieves from pulling off a unique and remote heist in the Rocky Mountains. If it sounds a bit like Die Hard set in the mountains, that's because it does feel like that at times. Appropriately enough, it was directed by Rennie Harlin, who also directed a Die Hard movie, the second one. It all works better than you'd expect, having some spectacular stunts and scenery paired with fun action sequences. Stallone is solid as the hero, but it's debatably John Lithgow's over-the-top and deliciously hammy performance as the main antagonist that often proves to steal the show.
Remember, shithead! Keep your arms and legs in the vehicle! Hello?
Breaking into the top 3 is Cop Land, leading a truly impressive cast that also includes the likes of Robert De Niro, Harvey Keitel, and Ray Liotta. Sylvester Stallone gives one of his best lead performances in Cop Land. He plays against type, to some extent, portraying a docile and even passive police officer who's the sheriff of a very quiet area. Things become more complicated when a conspiracy is revealed to be operating beneath the surface, leading Stallone's character to feel internal conflict over whether to let things go on or stand up to powerful forces. The premise makes it comparable to something like High Noon, as does the climax, with Copland being an overall effective and gripping crime/drama with a slight Western feel to it.
I look at this town, and I don't like what I see anymore.
At number 2, we have First Blood, though it gave birth to the Rambo series, which is best known for delivering plenty of action and spectacle. 1982's First Blood is a more subdued affair. It's a grounded look at a traumatized Vietnam War veteran who's unfairly targeted by law enforcement, causing him to flee the town he lives in and get pursued through the great outdoors by various police forces. Like with many of the Rocky movies, Sylvester Stallone had a hand in writing First Blood, with it kickstarting his second most iconic series, after that aforementioned boxing one, of course. It's a moving and exciting film, expertly made and featuring a great Stallone performance at its center. First Blood tells the touching tale of a government-trained killer's struggle to readjust to civilian life when everyone treats him like an outsider.
Did you see this guy's crazy?
Can't you see I don't give a shit?
Yeah, I can see that.
Hey, that's better.
You're just gonna shave your partner. Take it easy.
And finally, taking the number 1 spot on our list is Rocky. It's never a difficult task to select the greatest movie within Sylvester Stallone's body of work. The title goes to the first Rocky from 1976, because of course it does. This is one of the greatest films of its decade, and also quite possibly the most iconic sports movie of all time, telling a classic underdog narrative in a borderline perfect way. Beyond providing a great story, Rocky is also notable for being Stallone's most successful movie at the Oscars, as it won Best Picture and earned Stallone himself 2 nominations for writing and acting. It made him a star, with the making of and release of Rocky itself being a compelling underdog story about one man making it on his own in Hollywood, much like how the titular character here makes himself a star within the world of boxing.
You became a leg breaker, some cheap second-rate loan shark.
It's a living?
It's a waste of life.
So, there you have it, folks. The top 10 Sylvester Stallone movies that you need to add to your watch list. Whether you're a longtime fan or just discovering the magic of Stallone's filmography, these are the must-see flicks that will have you pumping your fist and shouting at the top of your lungs.